Number 3.
What the? Breaking news. Spider-Man is Peter Parker.
That's not really breaking news. We all know that.
Yeah, but like, they didn't know that.
Coming in at number 3.
Do you think Peter, like, wears or brings deodorant with him when he goes web slinging?
That is, why are you like this?
I'm just saying, he swings all day in the New York sun in a polysynthetic suit. How breathable is that even?
Can you please focus?
No, all I can think about is how MJ must be keeping it to herself, how smelly he is.
The suit has an AI and like 50 different combinations of web attacks.
Just because it's advanced doesn't mean it doesn't stink.
Joe, for the love of God, it has a vacuum seal that we saw in Homecoming. It can clearly air itself out.
That's actually a really good point.
Okay. Now that that's settled.
Coming in at number 3 on our best post-credit scene list is the breaking news announcement at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home.
This movie was brutal with Mysterio's beatdown of Peter.
For real, that Nightmare Illusion sequence is still one of the best fights in the entire MCU. Oh, that would make a really good future countdown list.
And even after Peter beats him, Mysterio manages to get one last brutal punch in and actually ruin Peter's life. Although, as we'll find out in the next Spider-Man movie, nobody is as good at ruining Peter's life as Peter is.
The scene was so unexpected, and I think it delivered one of the best cliffhangers, not including Infinity War, the MCU has ever delivered. One of the hallmarks of the Home series was maintaining Peter's secret identity, and in one scene, it strips that entire plot element away.
After teasing the multiverse in this movie, the post-credit scene welcomes J.K. Simmons back into the role of J. Jonah Jameson to start spreading that Spider-Man misinformation.
Who is Spider-Man? He's a criminal, that's who he is. A vigilante.
Making this scene memorable for so many reasons. And unlike Tony, who chose to make his identity public, that choice is stolen from Peter. It's a moment that changed everything. And if that's not worthy of a top 3 list mention, I don't know what is.
This was the beginning of Marvel's multiverse, but like only sort of.
Yeah, only sort of. But like, what a beginning. J. Jonah Jameson in the flesh, in the MCU.
This blew my mind when I saw this in theaters, because like I remember going into this movie thinking like, oh, are they gonna get weird with the multiverse here? Like we know that Mysterio is apparently a multiverse like warrior or something, and like what's gonna happen? Is Tobey Maguire gonna show up? Like what's gonna happen? And then we come to find out that of course it's not real. Of course it's Mysterio putting on an illusion and just made up the whole multiverse thing, which is so funny because like apparently he just predicted what was going to happen next.
Right.
So even though I loved Mysterio and I loved that, oh, that's not real, I did feel a little let down that, oh, we're not doing multiverse yet. Oh, that's a bit of a bummer. And then we get to this post-credit scene and like they must have known that I was in the audience. This was for me. They must have known that I was going to be a little disappointed. And they were like, no, Joe, hang in there.
Yeah.
Here's a little tease of the multiverse.
Hang in there, and it's J.K. Simmons, Joe's favorite.
And it's J.K. Simmons!
Like, fantastic. Immense excitement in theaters. Just, I mean, basically almost dropping an F-bomb with everyone in theaters, right? Like, same reaction as Spider-Man in the theater, though, basically. Like, what the? So, like, mega moment. And we should also talk about how Zendaya hates web swinging.
we should absolutely talk about how Zendaya hates web swinging. I love her rendition of MJ, how different this character is, and that moment in and of itself is just really funny, and definitely checks one of the boxes off of our criteria list for what makes a great post-credit scene. But Nick, you pointed out that in Ragnarok, that post-credit scene threads the needle so beautifully and like seamlessly into Infinity War, and this post-credit scene does the same exact thing, except we don't skip anything. With Infinity War, there is just a small skip of Thanos beating up all the Asgardians, right? We start the movie, right? But we know that the implication happened. Whereas this just picks up right from where the post-credit scene literally ended, right? It's, if this scene doesn't want to make you watch No Way Home immediately to find out what the heck happened, I don't know what would.
Yeah, that's a great point. This actually contradicts, I think, my statement from our previous episode. Like, this is actually the closest timeline hop between a post-credit scene and the next movie. Like, this is literally 0 seconds. Like, this is a here's a credit, and then this other movie starts right here, and so like, enjoy.
It might as well just be one movie,
right?
The two movies. Honestly, with the theme of the multiverse, like it kind of works in a weird way.
Yep.
Just a very long movie sitting that maybe you should take an intermission for. Also, I have to just point this out. I think it's so funny that Mysterio, that the way he words the statement is Spider-Man is Peter Parker, as if Peter Parker is this famous person that like everyone would know, because like in Times Square there was some New Yorker who was like, who the fuck is that? Like,
honestly, there's probably still people who don't know who Peter Parker is, right? Like, it's like, what is this? And actually now nobody does. Spoilers. Anyway, we want to know what you guys think. Does this scene belong on Marvel's best post-credit scene list? Let us know in the comments.
And be sure to tune in for the next 2 days as we count down the number 1 and number 2 best post-credit scenes in Marvel. It's a Merry Marvel Christmas countdown.
Peace.